Hello and welcome to your first in tuition ACCA financial reporting course. In this short introductory video, I'm going to be talking about the format of your exam and also how to approach your studies using the first in tuition materials in FI Learn. So before we take a look at the learning materials, we're going to think about the format of your exam. Now, the information that you can see on the screen is taken from the front pages of your notes. Your exam is going to be a 3-hour exam, which you'll sit on a computer, and it's going to be divided into 3 different sections with 3 different types of question. Section A will contain 15 objective test questions, each of which are worth 2 marks. And you'll either get these questions right or wrong, so you'll get 2 marks or you'll get 0. Then in section B, this is also examined via an objective test, but the objective test questions will be based around 3 mini case studies, and each case will have 5 OT-style questions off the back of one scenario. And each of these questions is also worth 2 marks, where you'll get all or nothing. Now, whereas sections A and B are marked by a computer, section C will be marked by a human being, and there will be 2 marks in section C, which are called constructed response questions. And this is where you will complete the answers in the ACCA software, which is quite similar to Word and Excel. Now, in terms of the style of questions, in sections A and B, there will be quite a variety of questions. So, for example, there'll be multiple choice, there might be pull-down lists, you might have to click on hotspots, and all of these different types of questions you will get to practice using your first intuition materials. In section C, one of the questions will require you to prepare a set of financial statements, either for a single company or for a group of companies. So it will be predominantly numerical. And the other question in section C will require the interpretation of financial statements, either of a single company or of a group. So this one will be predominantly written, but you might have to do some calculations as well. The exam as a whole is mostly computational, and you don't get any choice of questions, so all questions are compulsory. And the examiner always achieves really good coverage of the syllabus in each exam sitting. So now that you understand the format of the exam itself, we're going to start looking at the learning materials in FI Learn. Now, once you've activated your link, you should see a screen that looks like this one. And the first place to click is on the Getting Started tile in the top left-hand corner of the screen. And what you will see in here is firstly this video. You will also see a study planner document which will guide you through your studies. There is a link to the full financial reporting syllabus on the ACCA website, and also there are some resources that will help you revise some of your financial accounting from your earlier studies. Now, if we open up the study planner document, you'll see it contains lots of useful information to help guide you through your financial reporting studies. We start off with the key to success, which is doing lots of question practice as you work through the materials. Although the financial reporting paper is very technical, it is also a practical exam, so it's not enough just to have the knowledge. You need to know how to apply it to the types of questions that come up in your exam. So it's really important that you attempt all of the questions in the question bank. As the exam approaches, you should be doing these questions under timed conditions. And once you get to the end of the course, you should be attempting the tuition course exam, which we'll have a look at in FI Learn in just a moment. The study planner also contains some useful links to the full FR syllabus and some technical articles on the ACCA website. These are really useful, particularly the articles, and we recommend that you take a look at them if you can between the tuition and revision stages of your course when you find you might have a little bit more free time. Now, the study planner itself breaks down the chapters in your course notes into manageable study sessions. Now, we'll give you an indication of how long it will take you to get through each chapter in the course notes, but remember that this is very much a guide. So if you find that you're spending a little bit longer, it's not a problem at all because everybody is slightly different. However, what we do think is that you will need to put in a minimum of about 45 hours work to get through the materials, plus some extra time for revision as the exam draws a bit closer. So make sure you map out your time over the next few weeks or months to make sure you don't end up running out of time as the exam approaches. Something we've also done with the chapters in the study planner is we have graded them of red, amber or green to give you an indication of how challenging you might find this particular area. We've also included some comments on how these topics might be examined and also things to look out for as you go through your materials. Once you get to the end of a chapter, it's really important that you dip into the question bank and you practice the questions, and then you can tick that chapter off and move on to the next one. At the end of the study planner document, we've given you a link to the HKCA practice platform, and this is well worth visiting once you get to the end of the course, so you can attempt some more questions in the same CBE layout as what you will see in the real exam, so you can get comfortable with the HKCA software. Now that we've seen the study planner document, the next place we're going to look in FI Learn is at the bottom of the course in the Reference Resources tile. And what you'll see in here are also some more useful things that will help you with your studies. Firstly, you've got a PDF version of the course notes and the question bank, and you should have physical copies of these too. There is an update sheet for the current year, which is relevant for people who've already studied for this paper previously, so you can see how the materials have changed this year. There is a study text, which is useful for additional reading, and this is effectively a more detailed version of your course notes, and you certainly do not need to read this study text from cover to cover, but you might find it useful to dip into to look various bits and pieces up. And then lastly, there's a video just explaining what we mean by various different question requirements. The next thing that's worth doing is completing the pre-course quiz. And this is a short quiz testing you on your knowledge of accounting. And depending on the score that you get, you might need to spend a little bit more or a little bit less time working through the financial reporting material. You're then ready to make a start on Chapter 1, and you can see that we have a tile on FI Learn for each chapter of your course notes. If we just click on Chapter 1, for example, we start off with some objectives for the chapter. We then have some videos to watch and learn, and you should watch these videos with your course notes in front of you, and you should annotate your course notes as the lecturer talks you through them. Once you get to the end of these videos, you will see a section called Have a Go. And this is where you get to practice some questions from the question bank, which has been put online into FI Learn. There are some answers in the back of your book or in the back of the PDF, but try to do the questions without looking at the answers. And if you need to go back to your course notes, then that's absolutely fine at this stage to help you answer the questions. You will see periodically that there are some tiles which are called checkpoints, and the checkpoints have got some additional questions in them which cover the last few chapters. And these are questions where you don't have access to the answers, so they're a really good way to test your knowledge and understanding of the material covered so far. Once you've completed all of the chapters, all of the questions in part 1 of the question bank, and all of the checkpoints, you're ready to complete your tuition course exam. And this is a really valuable opportunity to get some marked feedback on your work and to gauge your understanding so far. You should have been given a deadline when to complete this exam in your course joining instructions, so please ensure you submit your exam in advance of the deadline. Once you've done that, you'll be ready to move on to the revision phase for this paper. I hope you found this introductory video useful and that you're looking forward to starting your financial reporting studies with First Intuition. Remember, we're here to help you, so if you get stuck on anything as you work through the course, please don't hesitate to contact your tutor.